Okay, let's take a start. It's academic reading, book number 16, test number 2. Right? One of the students once commented, he said test number 2 is the toughest test, so you should solve it. So now we are going to solve a toughest test. Right? Come on, you never know. Maybe it's going to be easiest for you. One thing is poison for one person, and for the other person it is something good. So don't worry. Right? It depends. The White Horse of Uffington. White Horse, you know, Uffington can be the name of a place. Simple. White Horse of Uffington, Asp. Yeah? Asp is Safid. Yeah, White Horse of Uffington. So let's see. They are talking about White Horse of Uffington. Now, I want you all to imagine a white horse. Right? Just imagine a white horse and that's it. Okay? Because more you imagine, you will be able to pay more attention and to penetrate into the passage. After reading the title of the passage, you don't need to read anything from the passage, directly come to the questions. And the questions are, and if possible, you guys can do one thing, a 5-second survey of all the reading test. Section 1, topic, type of questions. Section 2, topic, type of questions. Don't read, only see. Section 3, topic and type of questions so that you are familiar. Right? When the ladies, they work in the kitchen, if you tell them you have to cook 3 dishes, all right, fine. Okay, so they can make all 3 dishes in the same time. Okay, so in the same way, if you read the titles and the questions, you know what is going to come ahead. It's not that when you reach section 3, you say, oh my God, I have this and that. So initially, within 5 seconds, you can check this thing, main topic and questions, topic and questions. Got it? And a reading test, which is considered to be the toughest one, will be the test where there are more questions which are not in order, where questions and answers are not in order. Okay, now we have true, false, not given. In true, false, not given, questions and answers are in order. And remember, in part 1, academic reading, part 1, they always give you 2 types of questions. Number 1, true, false, not given. Number 2, sentence completion. Most of the time, they will give you true, false, not given and sentence completion. And then you move on to part 2, then they have the other type. So what do we have here? Same thing. Okay? So whenever you do the test, you should observe that usually in part 1, they give this type of questions. In part 2, they give that. In part 3, they give that. Okay. In true, false, not given type of questions, you have to read the question and divide it into 3 parts. And within the question statement, there is a word or there is a phrase which is going to decide whether the answer is true, false, or not given. For example, Asad Yaqub is wearing blue shirt, for example. Now, Asad Yaqub is wearing blue shirt. If Asad Yaqub is wearing blue shirt, it is mentioned in the passage, answer is true. If Asad Yaqub is wearing white shirt, in the passage they say blue, false. And if they did not tell the color of the shirt, they say Asad Yaqub is wearing a nice shirt, but color is not mentioned, so answer is not given. Very, very simple. Okay, so you need to just check it like this. Question number 1, most geoglyphs. Now, whenever you come across a new word, number 1, don't feel panicked. Geoglyph? I don't know this word. What is it? Okay, sometimes contextual use of the word will clarify the meaning. And sometimes they define the words as well. Now, geoglyph, they will tell us what a geoglyph is. Most geoglyphs in England are located in a particular area of the country. Country means village. Country means? Country has 2 meanings. One country is, my country is Pakistan. Second country is, I live in the countryside. Village, rural areas, okay? So they say most geoglyphs. Now, whatever this geoglyph is, most of them in England are located in countryside. Now, if they are located in countryside, answer is true. If they are located in the city areas, right, then it is false. And if they don't tell us, I mean, they will tell us the location of geoglyphs, but they don't tell us most of them, whether they are in cities or they are in countryside, then the answer is Not given. So this is how you have to read every question in true, false, not given. Now, what is, and one more thing. From the question, you have to find the clue word. What is the clue word here? England, geoglyphs, and most cannot be the clue word. A clue word is a word which you're going to scan. Now, let's look for England and geoglyphs and country. Okay, let's take a start. Can you see country, England? Found it? Yes. Now, all of you, please follow me. Okay, listen, don't try to do it independently. Now, this is dependent learning. So, you are depending on me. The way I say read this, read that, you have to follow me. Okay, if you do independently now, this class will be a waste of time for you. This class will only be helpful when you are going to follow me. Everyone, please come to second line. There are 56. Found it? Okay. All right, I'm reading it from the beginning so that you understand what is geoglyph. I'm reading first line. The cutting of huge figures or geoglyphs. Cutting of huge figure is called geoglyphs into the earth of English hillside. Okay, now we understand. Have you seen sometimes on the hill, they have written the name of someone or they have made some pictures and all that? That is called geoglyph. Now we understand, right? So they say the cutting of huge figures or geoglyphs into the earth of English hillside has taken place for more than 3,000 years. Let's go on. There are 56 hill figures scattered around England, with the vast majority on the chalk downlands of the country's southern counties. So they are in countries' southern counties. Now what are counties? That is countryside, right? So what do they say? They say vast majority on the chalk, okay, and then they say they are in the country's southern counties. So county is basically, I mean, in England, they have these counties, so which are like the small areas, and they resemble like the villages and all that. Now let's go back. Most geoglyphs in England are located in a particular area. Now, what is the word for particular area? Southern counties. So, southern counties, particular area of, okay, now listen, I think over here, the word country refers to country, like England. Okay, so most geoglyphs in England are located in the particular area of the country. So, area of the country. Now, I'm sorry, I said country means village. It doesn't mean village. It means country. So, they say most geoglyphs in England are located in a particular area. What is particular area? Countries, southern counties. And what is most geoglyphs? Vast majority. Okay? So, vast majority and they are there. So, the answer is true. Absolutely. You can do one more thing. Please underline the sentence in the passage where there is the answer and write there one. Okay, so that when you go back home, you can practice easily. You can just see this is the question, this is the answer, this part of the passage contains the answer, so you should do that. Okay, question number 2. There are more geoglyphs in the shape of a horse than any other creature. Now, this true, false, not given is related to comparison. They say horses are very common in geoglyphs, so there are more shapes of horses than any other animal. Now, please come back. We look for the word horse. Can you find it? Yes. Okay, I'm reading third line, last words. The figures include giants, horses, crosses, and regimental badges. Did they mention anything? They say, although the majority of these geoglyphs date within the last 300 years. Did they mention anything that the most geoglyphs are the geoglyphs of a horse or any other animal? No, they just said they are giants, horses, crosses, and all that. So what is the question? There are more geoglyphs in the shape of a horse than any other creature. Answer is not given. Because comparison is not given. Whenever in true, false, not given, they give you a comparative sentence, you have to check the comparison. If comparison is given in the same way, it's true. If comparison is opposite, I mean, in the passage, they have written something opposite than what they have written in the question, then it is false. But now over here, they did not say a single word like there are more geoglyphs in the shape of horses. They only said there are geoglyphs of giants, horses, crosses, and regimental medals, but they did not tell us anything. This comparison is not given, therefore answer is not given. You have to be alert and active, okay? I cannot simplify it more than this, right? Yeah. Question number 3. Recent dating of the Uffington White Horse. Recent dating means the current dating. Dating means when it was made. The date when something was made, that is also dating. That is also dating what you are thinking and smiling. All right, so recent dating of Uffington White Horse indicates that people were mistaken about its age. Listen, people used to think it was 500 years old, but actually it was 700 years old. So people were mistaken, something like this. Okay, so let's go back. Second paragraph, and the word date is written in the second line. The white horse has, found it? Yes. Okay. The white horse has recently been redated. When they use the word redated, what does that mean? If they say, well, this building is 1,000 years old. Redated means, no, it is 1,500 years old, right? So, the white horse has recently been redated and shown to be even older than its previously assigned ancient pre-Roman Iron Age date. So it's older than the date. It means people were mistaken. And the answer is true, absolutely. Recent dating of Uffington White Horse indicates that people were mistaken. Now, why were people mistaken? Because they used to think about a different date. But actually, it was a different date, so people were mistaken. Hence, the answer is true. All good? You see, it started, usually reading doesn't start with this much complication. But sometimes if you are not lucky, then there can be difficult questions from part 1. Question number 4. Historians have come to an agreement. Now, these points are very important. If historians have come to an agreement, it can be true. If they do not agree, it can be false. And if they don't mention anything about agreement or disagreement, then not given. So they say historians have come to an agreement about the origins of the Long Man of Wilmington. Long Man of Wilmington is your clue word. You will look for Long Man of Wilmington, and there you see historians have come to an agreement. So please, let's go back. Same paragraph. Fourth line, last word. While many historians are convinced. Now listen, when they say many historians are convinced, it means all historians are not convinced. They say many historians are convinced the figure is prehistoric. Others believe. What do they mean by others? Remaining historians. Others believe that it was the work of an artistic monk from a nearby priority. Now what is the question? Historians have come to an agreement. Have they come to an agreement? No. Many historians think they have one theory. Others have another theory. It means they don't agree. That is why answer is false. Do you guys really understand? Oh, thank God. Otherwise, some are looking at my face and some are looking here and there and some are arguing. They अपना गुस्सा मुझ पे निकालते, reading का गुस्सा. Sir, ये देखे ना, ये चीजें तो ऐसे नहीं पल्ले पड़ती. There was a student of mine many years ago when I started my teaching career. She said, sir, these things need time to understand. I can't do it now. I can't do it like this, okay? So at least I need a couple of years to understand such type of concepts and all that. So again, I tell you, if one of you is going to stand up now and say, this is so much confusing, it's beyond my capacity, many of the students will be negative about it. So that is why I try to snub such students, such comments, and I change their, ideologies from negative to positive, okay? The way you think is very, very important. Don't worry, these things will take time to develop, but mashallah, you are young and active and you can do it all, okay? All right, let's go on. Question number 5. Geoglyphs were created by people Now listen carefully, focus each word and visualize each word. Geoglyphs were created by, now you understand geoglyphs like paintings on the mountains, on the hills, okay? Geoglyphs were created by people placing white chalk on the hillside. Look here, look here. Geoglyphs were created by placing white chalk. Now, if people placed means put white chalk on the hills and they created, that answer is yes. If white chalk was already there, they removed the grass from there and made the white chalk visible. It was already there. Then the answer is false. And if they don't tell us anything about the white chalk, whether people put it or they just cleaned the branches of the trees and all that, then it will be not given. So what's the clue word here? Chalk, white chalk. Let's go back. Third line. The method of cutting these huge figures. Found it? Good, let's read it. The method of cutting these huge figures was simply to remove the overlying grass to reveal the gleaming white chalk below. White chalk was already there below, and what their job was, remove the overlying grass. Now, what is the question? Geoglyphs were created by people placing white chalk. No, white chalk was already there. People removed the grass from there. So what will be the answer? True. Excellent. That was hello testing mic check, okay? You know, one of you just written true and then he would be very happy. I am right, the whole class is wrong, okay? All right, that was just a test. Okay, question number 6. Many geoglyphs in England are no longer visible. Look here, look here, look here. Don't find the answer. We'll do it gradually, easily. Okay, otherwise when you are confused, then I cannot take you out of that. They say many geoglyphs in England are no longer visible. Majority of them are invisible. I mean, the grass grew on them and then they vanished, most of them. If many are invisible, then this answer is true. If majority of them, they are still visible and people take care of them, then the answer is false. And if they don't tell us whether majority are visible or invisible, answer is not given. So please come to the same paragraph, 4th line. 3rd paragraph, 4th line. And you see answers are coming systematically. One reason that the vast majority of hill figures have disappeared. Vast majority have disappeared, and then they are telling us the reason is that, don't go into the reason, they are just telling us one reason that the vast majority of hill figures have disappeared. What does that mean? This means vast majority of epiglyphs have disappeared. So what's the question? Many geoglyphs in England are no longer visible. For no longer visible, they use the word disappeared. And then they're telling us the reasons. We don't need to read too much. Remember one thing, for academic Ielts reading, you have to do smart reading. Now, what is smart reading? I only read until here. They said, one reason that the vast majority of hill figures have disappeared. I understood. They have disappeared. And an ordinary student will read all the reasons. Reason number 1, acha. Reason number 2, okay. Reason number 3, and then he will come back to the question, go back to the passage, come back to the question, and you'll be double confused. You found the answer, and you should write it. So question number 6, answer is not given. Yeah, checking your reaction. Okay, absolutely true. Question number 7, shape of some geoglyphs have been altered over time. They changed the shape. Altered means, yeah, and over time means 5 years ago it was different and then people changed the shape. So the shape of some geoglyphs altered over time. Let's go back. Same paragraph. Over hundreds of years. Found it? Everyone? Over hundreds of years. Please take a look at your neighbors also. Make sure everyone is at the right place. Furthermore, over hundreds of years. Found it? Okay, now please follow. Furthermore, over hundreds of years, the outlines would sometimes change. Outlines of what? Outlines of geoglyphs. Outlines sometimes change due to people not always cutting in exactly the same place. So outlines change. And when outline will change, the shape will change automatically. So the shape of some geoglyphs has changed or has been altered over time. The answer is true, absolutely. Clear? All right, let's go on. Question number 8. The fame of Uffington White Horse is due to its size. Look here, look here, look here. if the fame of Uffington White Horse is because of size, it's very big. Answer is true. If the fame is for some other reason, and they tell us the reason, not size but some other reason, then the answer is false. And if they don't tell us the reason, the fame is for size or creativity or any other thing, then the answer is not given. So let's go back. Last line, third last line. The fact that, found it? The fact that any ancient hill figures survive at all in England today is the testament to the strength and continuity of local customs and beliefs, which in one case at least must stretch back over millennia. Did they mention anything about the size? No? About the fame, that fame is because of the size or anything else? Not given, absolutely. This answer is not given. Yes, please come to next page. Which line? First paragraph. Okay, so what is mentioned? The Uffington White Horse is a unique stylized representation of a horse consisting of a long, sleek back, thin, disjoint legs, a steaming tail, and bird-like beaked head. Did they mention anything about the size? No, it's not given. Yeah, it's only the style. Size is not mentioned at all. The word size, if they say small, big, and all that, that is not mentioned, okay? Thank you.